I have a truly crazy story to share in today's video, but it's a story that is, well, first off, has a happy ending, and it just reminds me and shows me and tells me all about God's goodness in the midst of darkness and hard times. So, as I work on this Bible journaling page in Psalm 16, I am going to share this story. And before I get started on the story, I want to share the supplies I've pulled that I'm using. So, to work in today, I'm using my Interleaved Psalms Bible. And unfortunately, this particular one they don't make anymore. But I will link a few other options in the description box below if you like the idea of working in an Interleaved Psalms Bible. So, that's going to be my base. And then I pulled this new vinyl sticker from the Creative Faith Etsy shop. I haven't really shared about it very much, but it says, Lord, you are my cup of blessing, Psalm 16:5. That's the NLT translation. This journaling Bible, I think it's ESV. Yeah, it's ESV. So Psalm 16:5 says, The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. So I have this vinyl sticker that I want to incorporate. And then the cute little mugs I used in this sticker are from my summer gratitude and prayer journal printable. So I have different seasonal gratitude and prayer journals. So this is the summer one. And I have a coordinating printable that goes along with it. And so I'll have this printable linked down below in the Creative Faith Etsy shop. But I just love the fun colors. Of course, these colors could be used other times of the year too. So, I don't necessarily see this and think summer. But, anyways, like I'm gonna put it on my new water bottle. This vinyl sticker on my new water bottle. So, I don't think it is too summery to have year round. And then I also have cracked pistachio distress oxide ink and a makeup brush from the Dollar Tree. So those are my supplies, and I will have all of those linked in the description box below if you want to pick them up. So as I work on the background of my page, I'm going to share what happened over this past week. So since 2016, I have been dealing with kidney stones. I got my very first one when I was living in the Dominican Republic. And I was, 23 or 24 years old. And it was quite the experience going to an emergency room in another country and just dealing with all of that. But I've had several episodes since. I had one in 2019. I had one in 2021 that resulted in surgery, but I hadn't had any since 2021. And so I thought, oh, I'm doing a lot better. I'm kind of in the clear. Well, not quite the case. So the other weekend, I saw some blood when I went to the bathroom, and I just thought, oh, my period's here. And I was crampy. But then my period didn't really come. I thought, oh, well, oh, well. And so then, though, that was on Saturday. On Monday, I was really exhausted. And again, I thought, oh, my period's on its way. So I'm just feeling really, really tired because that sometimes happens before I start my period. And I just rested and was feeling pretty crampy. Well, then Tuesday morning, I wake up and I am in so much pain. I am unable to eat and feel super nauseous. And so I was like, oh no, this isn't my period. This is kidney stones. And my husband was at work. Thankfully, my parents were able to take me to the emergency room. And they did a CAT scan and CT scan. Is that the same thing? And I didn't just have one stone, there were two stones making their way out at the same time. And my left kidney had like two more, and my right kidney, I think, has like three or four more. Very discouraging and defeating. So that was Tuesday. A week after, I was going to be leaving for Texas for a business conference. And my bosses said that until I passed the two stones, they didn't think I should go. And I was so defeated. Never once did I think that I wasn't going to this conference. And so that was, it says in the hospital Tuesday. Wednesday I was at home. Thursday I was at home just chugging liquids, trying to control and manage the pain. And it was just, really crazy. And I just was praying, and everyone was praying that I would pass the two stones and to be able to go on this trip that I have been really looking forward to. So Friday, I passed one of the stones, and it was so exciting. I was so grateful. And I had like a little strainer that I was using to catch it. But they're like, well, you got to pass the other one in order to go on the trip. And I just was like, okay. So I kept drinking, chugging, praying. Friday, rest of Friday comes and goes. Saturday comes and goes. Sunday comes and goes. And I am like, where is this other stone? It wasn't that far away from the first one. And I was like, did I pass it without knowing? I'm trying to just figure out like what was going on. And so people were praying at church and my Bible study group and my going Gestalt coaching group, and everyone was just, I posted on my Creative Faith Instagram story saying, will you please pray? And so many people were praying, and I was just like, I just wish I knew. My boss gave me a deadline of Tuesday at 11:30 or 50 because that's when she had to check in for the flights. And I just was like, Lord, what are you doing in all this? I just wanted to know, like, was I going to go or not? And so then on Monday at 8:30 a.m., remember my deadline was 11:30. The second kidney stone came out. And I was just so grateful. But I also just had like, well, first the week before I was really upset because I didn't think I was going to go. But then it was like, you know what? If I'm not supposed to go, that is totally God's will. And I just had this peace in my heart about it. But anyways, it was just like the wildest journey of emotions from, the lowest of lows to the highest of highs, and just trying to trying to just trust God through it. And I feel like there's so much He was teaching me in and through the experience. But I was like, I just have to document this for just to be reminded. That's why I love like prayer journaling, gratitude journaling, Bible journaling. All these things help remind me in the hard times of God's goodness and His faithfulness in the past. And since He's been faithful in the past, He will be faithful in the future. And so I was like, I need to document this and remember what happened and to just, celebrate what the Lord did. But even if the stone didn't come out and I wouldn't have been able to go on the trip, God is still good, and I still trust him through that. So anyways, as I was kind of thinking about where I wanted to journal and what I wanted to journal, I thought of this new vinyl sticker that I made from Psalm 16. And I thought it was just super appropriate for this experience. And so I'm going to read it to you now. So it says, "Preserve me, O God, for in you I take refuge. I say to the Lord, you are my God. I have no good apart from you. As for the saints in the land, they are all the excellent ones, in whom is all my delight. The sorrows of those who run after another God shall multiply. Their drink offerings of blood I will not pour out, or take their names on my lips. The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. I bless the Lord who gives me counsel. In the night also my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be shaken. Therefore my heart is glad, and my whole being rejoices. My flesh also dwells secure. For you will not abandon my soul to Sheol, or let your Holy One see corruption." And, there's one more. "You make known to me the path of life, and in your presence there is fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures evermore." So, really powerful psalm, and Sheol is the realm of the dead or the afterlife. And if you've ever had a kidney stone or know someone who has, you know that kind of feels like you're dying. But anyways, I just really liked how it talked about, rejoicing, my heart being glad, my flesh dwells secure. Also, I was talking with my husband and we were sharing. I said, what do you think God is trying to teach me through this? And he said, well, what things are you putting first in your life above him? And a lot of the time I do put work. Work and productivity is a huge idol that I struggle with. And so I can totally see, how God was kind of using this experience to reveal that to me and show that to me. And I never want anything to take God's place in my heart. I want him to be my number one. I want to trust him always. And so that was something that my husband and I were kind of talking about. And so when it says, "The sorrows of those who run after another God shall multiply. Their drink offerings of blood I will not pour out, or take their names on my lips." And so, what other gods or idols do you have in your life that you struggle with? So I cut out this "Thy will be done" in, but I think I'm going to instead do this yellow one that says "Thank you, God, for." These are little sentence starters for your gratitude and prayer journaling. So I kind of like that. And I can do a little prayer journaling there. And maybe I will have to figure out how should I arrange this page. Maybe like that. Have the double hearts. Maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, kind of like that combo. Anyway, so I hope this video encourages you that God is with you always, and that he hears your prayers, and that he's answering them in his time and in his way. I also want to encourage you to reach out to others for prayer, because I felt like I just couldn't even pray last week. And so I encourage you to reach out to others for prayer And that's what the community of Christ is about, is praying for one another, supporting one another, encouraging one another. So I definitely wanted to encourage you in that. And yeah, I just was like, when it passed today, actually, I'm filming this the day it passed. I was just like, oh God, wow. Did that really happen? And guess what? It did. It really did. In the nick of time. And what a story. What a testimony of God's faithfulness. And so I love how this says, in my darkest season, you, Lord, carried me. So, oh, I think this page is turning out really sweet. So I think off camera now I'm going to write a prayer and do some annotating. Are you loving this video? Well, be sure to take a screenshot, post it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at Creative Faith Co. I'd love to know your favorite part of the video. Can't wait to see those. And now let's jump back in. All right, here is how the final spread turned out. I love how it turned out. I think it is so beautiful and such a sweet way to document all that God did in the past week. So I just did some prayer journaling on this side and then did a little annotating on this side with verses that I liked and jumped out at me and turned a couple of them into prayers. So that is the spread for today. I pray this video encouraged you. Comment below if you have any prayer requests. I would love to pray for you, or you can always email me as well too, Hillary at creativefaithco.com. I love to lift you up in prayer. I don't check my Instagram direct messages a ton because they really overwhelm me. And so if you want to reach out, email is probably the best way to do it. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here. You can check out, again, links to all the resources that I used in this video in the description box below. And be sure to hit the subscribe button down below too, and the bell notification, and give this video a big thumbs up. I am so close to 10,000 YouTube subscribers, which has been my goal for this year. Well, it was my goal last year. Now it's my goal this year, and I am like just a few people away. And so if you watch every week and aren't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And it, costs you nothing and is a great way to support the Creative Faith & Co. YouTube channel. So anyways, thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye, friend.